More and more sewage continues to be released in the creek at the iconic beach Colva, while the villagers and authorities remain absolutely helpless to stop the same in absence of a functioning sewage treatment plant. Ready between 2019 and 2020, the plant awaits connections for supply of raw sewage for treatment. In this episode of Ground Zero, Herald TV met the Sarpanch of Colva, who said she has no idea who is releasing sewage into the creek. Listen in.
तू तो रियालिटी गेलो न्हू बीच साइड पासून आता क्रिकाचो प्रॉब्लेम जाता तुवें तांकां नोटीस धाडले ते तुका लेटर कोताय सगळे आहा आनी खरें आसता बट ते सोडटाय केन्ना कितल्यां सोडटा दॅट वी कांट ट्रेस लोकांक पासून कितू रिक्वेस्ट केली कोण तो तुम दिसती पडो ये सांगाय पंचायतीन वी कॅन टेक एक्शन राइट. So without the proof also, panchayat action give us the.
But there is sewage is being disposed in that creek.
And how they are disposing, nobody knows. Atun think ata tourism bhi yahan hai te check bhi, or santu check ko. So agle dakhwayta hai tuka. Te kitko dispose korta te, garbage kitko dispose korta contractor asa. Te sogle yahan te. पण तुक तर एक एविडन्स मेळ्ळें तें उडयता कितें कोणें तरी एक व्हिडिओ काडून पासून पंचायतीतून दाखयलें जाल्यार आमच्यान एक्शन घेवपाक जाता प्रूफ आहा न्हू.
कोलवा क्रिकान सिवरेज आसा ही खरी खबर पूण ती खंयच्यान येवपाक लागल्या
खंयच्या येता ती नोबडी नोस कोण नको आतां रातीत घालता राती सोडटा ओ कितें करता तें
ओके
कोण सांगता. आतां फंक्शनिंग म्हणल्यार तें एसटीपी रेडी आसा पण कनेक्शना लागून उलो आहा. एक्चुअली सिवरेज डिपार्टमेंटान सगळी फॉर्मां हाडून दिल्ली पंचायतीन लोकांक डिस्ट्रिब्यूट करपाक. अकॉर्डिंगली पंचायतीन अनाउन्समेंटां जाली चर्च अनाउन्समेंट गाडी भोंवन येयली फॉर्म सील मागीर कलेक्ट केलें लोकांनी वयली ती बरोवन पोत्तून दिली ना.
ओके
तेणें एका पंपिंग स्टेशन आनी कनेक्शन दिलें ना लोकांनी फॉर्म भरना
आतां कमर्शियल एस्टॅब्लिशमेंट लायक हॉटेल्स आनी येता ते हाव दे आर डिस्पोजिंग देयर सिवरेज रायट नाव.
No, right now some of the hotels they have this STP tanchi soapy septics.
The PWD Minister Nilesh Kabral held a meeting with the District Collector South Goa in order to find a resolution. However, of the 4 phases of Colva Village Panchayat, only one phase of manholes and sewer line work is completed. Listen in to what the minister had to say.
चे काम आता हे मतदारसंघात मडगांव पातोर्डा नावेली खूब वर्सां चल्लें आशिल्लें. हांवें लास्ट इयर प्रॉमिस केल्लें की लास्ट इयर मे हांवें टार्गेट दवरलो कंप्लीट करपाक पूण समहाव फॉर वेरियस रिजन्स म्हाजे कडेन जावंक ना. बट आय टार्गेटेड माय सेल्फ दॅट दीस मे एंटायर एक्सरसाइज ऑफ स्टोरेज इन पातोर्डा मारगांव नावेली विच एवर वी हॅव स्टार्टेड इज गोइंग टू गेट ओवर. स्पेशली कोलवा आतां हांवें काल कलेक्टरा कडेन मिटींग घेतल्या. कलेक्टरान सांगलां की आमचो प्लान रेडी जाला आनी आमी पंचायतीक लेटर बरयला कनेक्शन दिवपाक. आता कनेक्शन कोण घेयना जाल्यार वी हॅव टू फोर्स पीपल टू टेक कनेक्शन इन स्टोरेज. सो अशी गोष्टी जाता तेन्ना जेन्ना कनेक्शन घेतात तेन्ना परतून फोडोवपाक पडटा. इट इज इनपॉप्युलर. हांवें मेड पयलो स्टेटमेंट केला म्हजो की रस्त्यार सगळे चडटा सो ताका लागून धांबर घालतली त्या थोड्यो गोष्टी जातल्यो बट वी ट्राय टू सी मिनिमम इफेक्ट. दिस इज हाव वी कॅन कोऑर्डिनेट.
While we had a discussion with the Sarpanch of the Colva Village Panchayat, we have realized that the Panchayat has also been trying to find the sources of this sewerage that is going into the open Colva Creek, which has been polluting the Colva Creek and creating a bad name for Colva for so many years. But the Panchayat has been highly unable to find out the sources from where this sewerage originates and is entering the creek right now. The Sarpanch has also updated us about the status of the plant. The plant has been there for so many years, but because of certain problems that the plant faced because of its operations basically, it got delayed. But now the plant is ready to function, but the manholes and the connections throughout the villages of Colva village panchayat are yet pending. The second phase of the sewerage work is going to start very soon, and there are a couple of pump houses also which are yet to be constructed. So it is a long way from getting the sewerage problem resolved. If we look at the background of the speed in which this work has been going on, we'll go further and see. We are going to look at the actual sources and the state of the Colva Creek right now, which will also give us a perspective on the problem that Colva faces right now. The biggest problem that Colva faces right now is of the sewerage that is being disposed in the creek. We have with us the convener of Colva Civic and Consumer Forum, Judith Almeida. She is the petitioner for the pollution of Colva Creek, the PIL that is being heard by the High Court, and various strictures have been already passed. We'll talk to her and get an idea about the entire matter. Judith, a long time now, Colva, I have been writing personally about Colva Creek being, there is sewage being released in Colva Creek. You have been fighting for it for so long, maybe years and years. Why is it not happening? What is going wrong?
See, we filed this PIL 15 of 2011 in the Honorable High Court in Goa, and the High Court in 2016, October, took a decision that an STP had to be set up because the opinion of the Pollution Control Board and the other authorities, the tourism, everybody was taken, and they decided that an STP will be set up. Accordingly, the STP, it was put into motion, the setting up, whatever the money was, whatever was to be required to be set up the STP, because you need all these lines everywhere, chambers are to be built, and the connections to all the houses, the restaurant, mainly restaurants, hotels, and commercial establishments, large housing complexes, all these had to be connected. Now, my issue is that it's okay that you started this process, but did you put a plan in place? Do you have a team which will going to deal with the maintenance of all these chambers? If whenever there is leakage, overflow, anything, do you have a team to immediately go and clear all these difficulties? Because we have found several of the chambers which are already along the coast. They overflow in the monsoon without any sewage or water going into them already. That means there is a defective chamber there.
Right.
That means the water from the ground is entering into those chambers and they are overflowing. So that was the first thing you know, that the job that is done has no quality. I have observed that there are these labor contractors who are supervising the construction of this thing. Tell me, what does a labor contractor know about civil works?
Right.
Yeah, he may have some knowledge, but does he know the technical aspect? Does he know what will be the negative effects if a job is not done properly? No, that is not happening. I have informed many authorities about all these things in the past, but it appears like the system does not have the realistic decision, to change things to make it better.
The desire to put
there
things
is no
in order.
desire. Number one, so there is no quality assurance. Number two, very importantly, they should have this maintenance team. Before you even start a project, these are the two most important things. Then you draw out your plan, then you start whatever connection, then you call all the villagers, you call the hoteliers, you call everybody, and you tell them this is what our plan is, you should be prepared. The government, you don't just go and dump something on somebody's head.
Right.
Because nobody is going to accept it quietly. Everybody wants to know why they are being asked to shell out money or to connect their whatever
connections
toilets
to the house
and all to these things.
Right.
They need to know why. There has to be information. You have to empower the citizen to be able to work with you.
Right.
If you don't empower the citizens, how do you expect them to work with you? So they may have called now hoteliers and all, but this is post the laying of the lines. There was a lot of trouble in many parts of the area. People were objecting. There was a lot of issues. Why? Because people were not informed of what was going to be done. Then the STP was set up. They have set up and they say they are ready for commissioning. Now they are saying they do not have the land to connect 3 of these areas. I saw the recent comment of the environment minister where he says one area can be connected because we have land for the pumping station.
But that exposes the basic planning
Exactly,
failure.
the planning failure. That's what I'm saying. Before you do anything, you start, and there has to be a plan in place. Why you need, if you had to think about quality and maintenance, you would have automatically thought of what from where will something will be pumped. If the sewage doesn't pass from here, you need a pumping station. So do you have the land? You will go and say, okay, now let's acquire the land. So many crores, over 90 crores you have
been spent already.
on this. I'm sure it has crossed 100 crores. You have spent, this is people's taxes. But where is your application of mind as an authority, as a government? Where is your application?
In fact, what
of
happened
mind?
is we were having a chat with the Sarpanch and asked her how is sewage entering into the creek. So what reply we got is she's saying they do not have any idea. What do you have to say about that?
You tell me. The panchayat is the local self-governing body. They are the first and the last people with any issues that happen in the village. Has this panchayat had any such long discussions with the pollution control board, with the tourism department? They have to have a meeting of all these authorities. It has to be a joint meeting. Inspections should have taken place to find out what. See, our PIL has come out with several reports showing you who are the polluters. You are a party as a part in the matter. Are you even reading those orders?
Right.
Are you aware of what the orders are being passed? Do you find out from your advocate who's representing you what is the court saying? How can we put the things in place? How can we improve? You just want to shirk your responsibility. Now in this case, the panchayat is the one who grants licenses.
Right.
Okay?
Right.
So when they grant license, means they are collecting some tax from the party. Do they find out if that structures are legal or illegal first and foremost? Because most of these structures which are illegal are the ones who are the biggest violators. So for everything, I believe, any project, anything, there has to be first your mind has to be applied to a proper plan in place. Now in this STP, let us go back to it. I tend to get carried away with all the other issues that are happening. This STP was to be set up to connect all the hotels. There are about 50 hotels at that time. Now there may be 70 at least, which were restaurants, hotels and all, who were releasing their sewage into the drains. And you'll find that the pipes go from below the stormwater drains and enter into the stormwater drains. Or there will be a pipe, these flexible pipes. They have a pump there. In the night, around 2:33, that flexible pipe comes out, even onto the beach, into the creek. They release that and they pump their sewage into the drains. So by the time you wake up in the morning, when the pollution board says, we did not find anything there. Of course you are not going to find, but I have told you, and you can see that there is raw sewage flowing there. You should know that somebody is responsible for it.
Right. And an investigation has to be launched in it, no?
Exactly, which is not happening anywhere. Tell me where there's even if the authority has the power to file an FIR, show me how many FIRs are filed in Goa. What does that tell you? Whether these authorities are serious about their department? Do they have respect for the departments they work in? I don't think so. We are fooling around. And some people say, I have to keep, I'm being told every time, you tell us where the hotels are, you tell us. You are an authority, you can ask the panchayat.
You have independent powers to ask the panchayat,
to produce everything to you. Or you get the mapping done.
Right.
Our chief minister should be most worried that the exchequer is suffering so badly that every time he has to borrow money to pay salaries. So he should be saying that all these departments are taking the projects forward quickly in a time-bound manner, and they are being put to good use. As a doctor, you should be most worried about the environment.
And we should
because
be
it affects
pragmatic in taking decisions.
Very pragmatic. If you are not pragmatic and if you are not going to apply, and you see, I am not saying that Chief Minister on his own can do anything. You have experts in so many. You have the Goa, what is this? That college. In Panjim, Miramar. The university.
Goa University.
You have the best of experts in that university.
Yeah, right.
You have best of experts available to you everywhere. You can call them for a meeting, take their opinion. I'm telling you why this. When I was looking at the pollution of the groundwater, I contacted some of the experts there. And although they were hesitant because they said if our names come out, we'll be in trouble, then you can imagine Even they, if they are scared, how will they give their opinion? That means there is something wrong with the government, with the system.
Right.
Very wrong. And I don't blame them. Each one is looking after himself. He has a family to look after. He has a life to lead. How can he every time compromise and keep quiet and just allow everything to go? He also has education. That education must be disturbing him all the time. That I know these things, but I'm not putting them to use. And these experts told me there how bad the situation in Goa is of the groundwater. And right enough, one of the persons was sent to do a study of this Colva, up to Benauli area. And the study showed the pollution, how high and severe it is in the groundwater.
My God.
Because she took a lot of samples from so many places. I have that report with me. Everything was produced. If your chief minister himself say भिवपाची गरज ना आणि आम्ही सदां जोगडी we are all the time protesting. Tell me how many every day how many protests are there in Goa? That is the first sign whether we are a contented people or not. A government is to be judged by the contentment of the people. If the people are not comfortable, happy, and don't have to run everywhere, they for getting service. Or don't have to protest against things that are being done which is harming their peace of mind and their lives and livelihoods. That means there is some fault with the government.
Right.
Of course, we elect these governments. We are to be blamed. But आमी पहिले गोंयकार वोट कोत्ता आसतना आमचीच नासतना
आमी कॉन्शियन्साक पयली हात घालून
आमी ते 5 वर्स गेले तेजे हिस्ट्री काडना कित जालें जावंक ना ते और 5 वर्सान आमी तें चिंतनाय आणि मुखार 5 वर्स येवपा हाय ते आमी चिंतनाय.
I think now the people should realize that that public memory is short is going to be a big bad word on the entire society, because if you are going to forget the issues that you faced during the 5 years, the protests that the entire state had to get their rights, if you are going to forget that, then there will be a problem. The Colva Civic and Consumer Forum has been fighting for this sewage treatment plant for last 11 years, and now it is somewhere looks like it is nearing, but there is a lot of work that is pending to be done, and we can only hope that better sense prevails in this entire matter and all the connections are established and the sewage of the entire Colva goes into the plant and gets treated in a time bound manner. And the damage to the groundwater which has crossed the danger limit can be probably reversed in the future if only this matter is resolved in time bound manner. After having several discussions and getting information about the entire sewerage system of Colva, we have realized that there are the 4 zones which are there in Colva village need to be connected, and the most critical zone, the sewerage line in that zone has been currently completed, which needs to supply sewerage to this plant. The work of the plant had started in nearly about 2017, which completed recently, but because of lack of supply of sewerage to the plant, it has become a white elephant for so many years. The workers here have informed that they have been putting on and off the systems here that need to be in working condition when the plant will start. But the issue of connections within the Colva village still persists. The panchayat will have to take proactive steps along with the PWD to make sure that this connection is set, and they also satisfy the High Court, which has heard a PIL regarding this matter. Only then the iconic beach Colva and the village panchayat will get a sigh of relief and be able to manage their sewage and cleanliness across the entire village panchayat. With Mohit Kharangate, this is Pratik Parab for Herald TV.